much. So first of all, thank everybody to come here to visit us and share the experience with us. It's so exciting to have you all here. So my name is, as just said, my name is Felipe Sabadin, and you can realize that I'm not American because my English is not so good, right? So I'm a Brazilian, but I arrived here the previous year, September, and I started to work with how we can use drones or image drones to support breeding decisions. So here we're gonna talk a little more about this stuff, the drone, right? Well, how I will talk a little more about the wheat, and I'm a little talk about the barley. And actually we have a trial here, and we have 350 different wheat lines, winter wheat lines. And in the front of this trial we have five ranges with 22 different varieties, and you are cutting these varieties during the growth season. So also this trial we are assessing traditional traits, plant height, yield, diseases, and other traits too. And also every week we're gonna flight here to try to estimate some vegetation index. I don't know if everybody knows, but I think so. We are using a vegetation index called NDVI. It's you can see after there we have a camera, and we have 10 different spectral bands, and we use two of these bands, red and NAR, and then we can estimate this NDVI index. This NDVI is very correlated with photosynthetic rate, right? I think it's right? Yeah, this is a difficult word to pronounce. Yeah, so it's not photosynthesis, but it's very correlated with photosynthetic rate. So we are trying to estimate here the growth curves using these NDVI values and use it to growth degrees days. So with all this information, we have a trial here, we have a trial in Blacksburg, and we have 3 different years. So we have 6 different environments, not environments, but we have 6 different data, and we can try to understand a little more about how different lines can, for example, her growth curves can change with the environment, because for example we have different temperature ranges, we have different rain conditions, and we can use all this stuff to try to understand a little more about the lines. Also, we are using all this data. We are using some other data too, weather data, and we are using genomic data to try to help breeders just to support the best decisions. So some analyze, I think everybody knows, but I think this is not new, probably it's not new, but we can realize that some varieties, because we have, for example, we have a variety with low biomass but can produce a lot, or can produce more than we have another line with high biomass and not produce so many. So we can realize that the flowering, hyperining, it's right? Ripenings, thank you. Ripening and maturation stages are the most important for yield. So here is just if you use all this data, is just to try to support more information to select the best ones. And also if you know about how plants change her growth patterns with different weather, we can try to select the best wheat lines in the future, because the weather is, the climate is changing also. Yes, I think it's this. If If anyone has some questions,
So
please, Professor.
they basically said that yields in the past have been increased by increasing harvest index, which is the proportion of the green matter to the yield.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that that's kind of reaching a climax, and so I think that's why they said we need to look at biomass and whether we can increase biomass and increase yield. So I guess
Nice.
have y'all found any results in difference in biomass and yield?
Yes. Yeah. I'm trying. I get the last year data, but it seems that the correlation between yield and the biomass is not so high. It's top 5, something like that. And this is nice because sometimes if we because we harvest the grains, right? It's not, for example, if another grass that we harvest all the plant, we harvest just the grains, and then we need to know, because all the carbohydrate that the plant produce, just a part goes to the grain, right? It's not all the how can I say, all the carbohydrate. But this is nice too, because, for example, we can try to figure out how we can fly, or we can fly the drone to try to know how the plants are starting to, for example, do more photosynthesis than in a given stage that you want to select. For example, if the plant, I have a very good graph. For example, we have the best one in this trial here. If you get all the genetic values for that, it's so close for the average. But when it started the maturation, when it started the flowering, ripening, and the maturation, they start to increase a lot. This best one. And we have another one that has a lot of biomass and doesn't produce very well. This is nice.
So you're saying the first one is translocating more
Carbohydrate, perfect for the grain. I think this should be good. I think this is, and to try to detect this is difficult using drones and other stuff. Yeah.
Did you find any of that in your study? More translocation in some of them?
So we didn't look at nitrogen translocation in my study. We just looked at grain produced per unit of nitrogen applied. There appear to be those differences, but I didn't look at those specifically.
Mm-hmm. Do you have N in the grain? No, just in
No,
the.
we didn't measure nitrogen concentration in the grain.
In the grain?
No, we didn't.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. Okay, please.
So, do you see the type of technology that you're using on the drone
Yeah.
being...
I need to because my listening is not good. Yeah.
No, you're
Well,
good. Do you see that being scalable
Yeah.
in terms of
I think so.
producers or services?
No, I think so. Yes, but this is another proposal, right? But I think so. Yeah. For example, here we are using drones for breeding, but you can use the drones for another proposals too. If you want to use the drone to evaluate your field, this is your question, right? Or your field, or try to detect, for example, diseases and some spot of, for example, if some place there's some water, and do you understand? For example, in a field, you can actually you definitely you can use the drone for this. Yes, and probably you need to use the same NDVI value, the same NDVI that we are trying to estimate here. Probably, but yes, we can use. Yeah, but breeding here we are trying just to use for breeding purpose, because we need to evaluate more these different lines, and you need to try to get more information about them. Yeah.
So I would ask, how effective are drones currently being used to get an idea about nitrogen application rates in fields? So I guess the bottom line is you need to use it to predict the varieties that are going to be more responsive to nitrogen, and also when the key time to put more nitrogen on the fields would be.
They had to try to figure out what time we need to put more. Yeah, this is nice.
How many acres a day could you fly?
A day?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need. Yeah, we have a battery sets here.
Follow the same there,
Yeah,
and I've got
but
thousands.
depends what you want. For example, if you want to, because it depends the height,
Right.
right? If I fly in 20 meters, 20 meters is 60 feet, for example, we can fly a fewer field. But if you fly 10 meters, 300 feet, 100 meters or 300 feet, you can fly a little more. But it depends of the battery. You need to have a lot of batteries. Depends the proposal. It's good if you have satellite images, for example. Depends the proposal. Drone maybe is not the best solution for everything. Yeah, drone is good for maybe for smaller fields. I don't know if we can use, for example, drones for a big farm. Do you understand? You can do, but I don't know if it's the best solution for that.
But if you're an advisor to several farmers,
Yeah,
then you have one of these, and
yeah,
rather than walking the entire field.
yeah, yeah. But it depends the drone, depends the battery, depends all other things.
I have a question.
Good.
So, the work you're doing with the drone,
Uh huh.
if you would take that, what they're asking about using on more acres,
Mm-hmm.
could you take that to, and I don't know what they have, like a small plane or something?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if you already knew how to evaluate the data
Mm-hmm.
and had another means of collecting the data
Mhm.
faster,
Mm-hmm.
you could still use your criteria to make calls on it. You just have a different way of collecting the data.
Uh-huh. I think so. I think I don't know if you understand very well about the question, but it's my fault, not yours. But I think that depends on you can use. Oh, could you repeat, please, your question? Just for understand a little better. If someone can help me, please, because my English is not so good.
I'll try to explain
Yeah,
it to you.
please.
So the drone is kind of just a mere tool
Right.
to get the sensor up into the
Right.
air. For years, people have used small planes or cherry pickers and things like that.
Right.
But the drones are a lot simpler now to just carry around and use
Right.
than it is to get a large plane up in
Well,
the
I
air.
don't mean like a Cessna or anything, but a drone-controlled plane that would cover the area
Yeah,
faster.
yeah, you've got several
Yes,
small
if he has a drone.
startup companies.
How